Right, we are doing a live alien radio signal hunt tonight. The skies are too cloudy to get the camera out, but we can all gather around the radio here, just like the old days. It's like the war. We're going to gather around the radio. We're going to listen out for potential alien radio signals coming in from amongst the stars. We're listening out here for all of these gadgets on a frequency called the hydrogen line, and that is the channel on the radio dial that scientists theorize we are most likely to hear a message from ET should they be out there sending us a signal. It is a bit of a right place at right time, but the more we do it, our statistical odds do increase of detecting a signal, but they are quite rare indeed. So pay attention to the meters, to the graphs there. If we do see a signal, it'll be on screen for between 30 and 90 seconds, and that is how long we'd expect a target planet there to be in range of the dish there with the Earth's rotation. You've got to imagine as the Earth rotates there, it's sweeping over the night sky, passing over all of those distant stars and their planets there. DJ's in. How you doing there? Kate and Carl, how are you doing, guys? How is the crew today? Good to see you in there. Thank you for the likes, guys. It is the likes and shares that does help us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves there. But yes, alien radio signal hunter tonight. We are searching amongst the stars. Gasp, Kate, you're on time. Shocking there. Fantastic. DJ, have you had a chance to have a play yet? I imagine you've got quite a few things on at the second, but have you had any fun? Have you heard any strange signals yourself there? And hey up! I do sound a little bit better. I am. Maybe it's the lack of medication. I do wonder, the amount of times you spend drugged up there, I do wonder if it's come off. Would I actually be better? Ups and downs there. Would it be a problem if I let the crew know my news from yesterday? And oh, yes. Oh, 100% set. Yeah, I'll try and leave there. Yeah, 100% in your own time there, DJ. But yeah, let us know how you get on with the signal hunting there. It is a Glasses Tuesday today, for it was not Glasses Monday. I'm a bit late there. Maya, hello. Good to see you over there on the tubes. Get you policing Raf in there as well. Oh, what's that? Obsessions, we have an hour-long recording sped up 4 times. Oh, that does sound interesting. Is that looking out over the bay? We'll have to have a look at that one. Right, guys, we are doing a live alien radio signal hunt there tonight. We're looking out amongst the stars, listening out amongst the stars, hoping to hear a message from ET should they be out there sending signals. These distances are so vast, so vast that... Oh my god, my brain. Sorry, guys. My brain has gone. So, yeah, fair enough there. And, where are we? Yeah, so vast. Oh my god, words today. I'm not fully back on it, you can tell. The distances are so vast that it would require a hell of a lot of energy to get a signal to travel across these distances. And, therefore, it is unlikely that an alien civilization is going to be transmitting these signals all of the time. And that is one of our main flaws with our current SETI searching that we do here as a species. There we go, get a word out there, that we only look occasionally, so it's unlikely that we're going to align at the perfect time, and so not only the right place but at the right time there. Grim is in. How are we doing tonight, Grim? Good to see you there. Oh my god, the ones that they just can't manage to deliver. That's the ones. There's about 5 of them. I never remember the names of them. How you doing, Blue Nose? Oh, thank you for the start as well. Where are we? Over on the chat there. You missed your alien there, Maya there. Over a North Beach there. I'll have to have a look. I'll have to have a check-in on those ones. And what medication are you... Oh, no, I've done that one as well. Sorry, guys, I'm still not fully on the plot. In some ways, I feel better about the meds. In other ways, it comes out and you go, oh, I can't think straight there. We'll get there, though. We'll get there. We'll hunt them down. But, yeah, so these distances are so fast there. It's unlikely that an extraterrestrial civilization is going to be sending a message constantly there. And the way that we search at the minute, it tends to be that... we'll take all of this data that is being captured by many radio telescopes out there for various projects, for even the other telescopes as well, some of the visual ones there like the James Webb and things like that, that we'll be taking this data for various studies of around the world. there, and for various projects around the world. God, I'll get my words out eventually. For various projects, and then the SETI groups will just reuse that data for the purposes of alien hunting. We'll be looking for those signs there, whereas other scientists may be looking for weird nebula, pulsar activity and all that sort of stuff. They can recycle that data and they can look through to see if there's anything strange in there as well. And then when they do get the hits, they'll go, right, that star there, Tau Ceti, that had an interesting signal, and then they'll go and point another dish at it and hopefully hear that second signal, which is what the confirmation that we need for science at the minute. The issue is that that data, by the time it's collected for the other purposes there, Grim, thank you for feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom, thanks guys.
I almost missed that one and the rose there as well. But that data being collected for other purposes there, it can be years before SETI get hold of the data, then years to process the data, then years again before they point another dish at it. And as we mentioned, it said it is unlikely that ET are just going to have that transmitter on the whole time, sending the hello as anybody else out there message. They're more likely to do it in the pulses. We as a species did it once ourselves there. Hydration reminder, thank you. I will need that as well. Private Tomcat is in. How are you doing? Sorry guys. So yeah, the issue is how we are searching at the minute. That is probably the main reason why we're not able to send this over the line there as full-on confirmation that the galaxy, at the very least, is alive with potential alien activity. We have got so many individual accounts of anomalous behaviours, whether it is the light coming from distant stars, weird radio signals there, or gravitational anomalies, but they're all individual signals there. We do not have the resources to spend a lot of time looking and re-looking for repeats of these, and it is that repeat is what we need there for the scientific confirmation of alien life out there. But collectively, there is a hell of a lot of evidence out there, and Profit SETI UK, exactly. What did we call it? We called it HETI, that's it, that's our version. The hunt for extraterrestrial intelligence there. We've got our big net out, and we're running through the galaxy, and we're going to net ourselves an alien there. There. I forgot to close the door last night. I've been having things, so be careful with not taking the meds there. Oh, in the wrong... Oh, I know what you mean. I know what you mean with that. That is the thing. Problem is I always forget, and then they forget to post the bloody things as well. You know, when I eventually get myself in a rhythm and a routine, then they forget it. And you know, I think how inconsistent it is just getting something basic like your monthly medication and things. Would I be better off about the ups and downs? I think the answer is no, but it is always tempting when you're fighting the system there for basic things there. The Draco, a war against you. So I've heard a little bit about the Draco rings a bell. Tell us more on that one there. And DJ there, now it's past the safe point. I'd like to let you know my wife is 12 weeks pregnant in 2 days. That is amazing news there, DJ. Sorry, I think I slightly let it out the bag when I was mentioning yesterday for you there, stealing the thunder. But a massive, massive congratulations there. That is well-deserved good news there. And Alan has a name suggestion there. And the Royal Draco are winged. So that is interesting. I'm trying to think, in the UFO lore, or the alien lore there, you don't tend to hear of many encounters with winged beings there. The only sort of adjacent thing I can think of is something like Mothman or something there. That is very interesting, and I'm assuming it's somewhere from the Draco constellation. Might be why it rings a bell there. And the system gets you dependent on them. Not to get... Oh, Dazzy, you are 100% right there as well. It's a symptom-focused treatment as well, and that always sits in the back of my mind, because I'm a stubborn person. And I don't like to depend on anybody else if I don't have to there, sometimes to my detriment. But, yeah, no, 100% with that. There is always that a very fine line. It's hard to judge, isn't it? It's fine for help for, a certain period of time. But they do get you hooked on it. They don't want to resolve the initial, impetus or whatever it is that is causing the core problem there. It's just treat the symptoms there. Be very vigilant. Kate, I know what you mean with behind the behaviours there, and I've noticed a few things today. Some positive, some negative. So, I mean, I'll go straight back on them when they can pull their finger out and actually deliver me the bloody things, but, yeah, they are strange there as well. And many other reptilian races. Now, reptilians we've heard of a bit there, and it does make you think out of the... speaking of genes last night, wasn't we? The roll of the dice through evolution are there, out of all of the distant worlds and all of their variations. What strange concoctions for intelligent and complex life May there be, we're still basing these things on our understandings, on our experiences, hence the name reptilian there. We're comparing it to reptiles, some think is an earth-based life form, but is that because it is our closest match? That is how the brain works, isn't it? When we see properly new alien data or information there, we have to try and attach it through a system of understanding that we already have in place there. And Samuel there, and I appreciate you doing this, and always good to see you on the hunt there, Samuel, as well. I appreciate having you guys in here. Honestly, without you lot, it is just a strange man every night in a green room talking to himself there. Honestly, I do love hearing from you all there, so I appreciate you keeping us company whilst we're on this search. And if you've got any questions, I love that as well. It gives me actually something to talk about there. And Rio, how are you doing tonight? Good to see you there. And Ben, how are you? Good to see you there. Popping in there, keeping busy. Sirius A and B. Hence a virus there. Oh, okay, there. The Dolce base war. Oh, I've heard of that one. Now, Sirius, very interesting, because Sirius is actually quite close by, isn't it? It's a very close by star. And again, a lot of the lore here does go to the close by star systems. They're not necessarily the ones that are hundreds of thousands of light years away. And logic would dictate, wouldn't it, that if you're going to get visitors, the closest ones are going to be the ones that are going to see you most, isn't it, there, So I think that makes sense. I wonder if there are a lot of these linkages there to the specific stars where various visitors may be coming from. I wonder if a lot of that can be traced back to pre-modern meteorology. Not meteorology is the wrong word there. Astronomy, there we go, where we knew the distances of some of these stars there, because you could definitely argue that we picked the closest by ones after we knew their distances. But if those tales, if those accounts are around from well before that, as potentially the stories you hear from like the Dogon tribes and things like that, if that is well before modern astronomy, yeah, that is on, then that is an extra feather in its cap there, isn't it there? DJ will love to see that one over on the Discord there. And maybe something new will pop up and better. Their plan may become available there. The chatter is loud. It is tonight there. So is that because you should close the door? Is that in a spiritual sense as well? Have reptilian brain hemispheres. Oh, you know what? I don't know much about the brain structure of reptilians there, or just reptiles in general there. So you say that there's probably more of an actual biological parallel there with our reptile-based life. So I know obviously about the humans, and the hemispheres play such a role in our psychology and the way we view and interact with the world. I think it's very, very important and very, very related to the phenomena that we talk about there. So if that is the case, that there is again another link there, that would be pretty interesting there. That's what happens if you don't close the door. That's what I thought there. And flight or fear reaction. Interesting. I mean, that is in and of itself is a very interesting mechanism there. I'm glad to hear you are good. We are all good here as well. And it is so. There is a parallel with the biology there of our reptiles. Somebody once said, it was just one of these reports, basically that Earth is a bit unique there, and I don't think we can assume that Earth is special or Earth is unique by default. There, I think we have to assume we're common, but it is possible. There are arguments to be made. But they were saying that, the diversity of life here on Earth is probably what is quite special. And maybe we're a bit of a zoo. Maybe all of this life was brought here. Now, the issue that I think immediately comes up with that is more that... Tara, hello. Thank you for the gifts there. A few messages behind. How are you doing? How is the house coming on there as well? And Samuel as well, thank you for the heart. And Ben, thank you for feeding Alan.
Guys.
Sorry, a few behind there. Let me go back to where I was in the chat. But... yeah, the fact that we could be like a bit of a zoo. Maybe they've brought all these species here. I do think, though, and again, this is how much we trust modern biology there, they can trace kind of to universal common ancestors in our DNA here. So there's no sort of missing link with a lot of the life that we have here on Earth. We can all trace it back. Now, that may be true, but maybe that universal common ancestor there wasn't actually on this planet. Maybe it's sort of a galaxy-wide sort of thing, and maybe these creatures did evolve on the specific planet somewhere else, but we have that common linkage, and that's why we're not noticing the anomaly. when we're doing our biological research on these creatures there, because you look to all of the other planets in our solar system, they've all got like a one thing deal. Earth is a bit of everything, really, isn't it? But you got hot ones, you got cold ones, you got high pressure ones, you got sandy ones, you've got icy ones, you've got water ones, you've got gassy ones. They're all a kind of like a per planet, per environment sort of thing. So maybe these very distinct species evolved on very specific planets there. And we've all been brought here, but we are commonly related through a single instance of abiogenesis of life, starting from nothing. But that might have not been here on Earth there. But good to see you there, Tara, as well. And Patrick Moore, so he was an interesting one. He was a bit of a prankster as well. But he also, although didn't, I don't think publicly, said that he was particularly a fan of aliens or UFOs. May have. I can't think of him to my knowledge there. But he was quite active talking around things like translunar phenomena. Didn't shy away from the odd weird thing there. And Prophet, we're under the firmament. So I'm not a fan of that one yet. I haven't been convinced, but I'm definitely open to it there. And good evening, Rachel and Simon. How are you today? Good to see you there. Thank you for the rose. And there, I can't be around for long. Everyone has decided to have an early night there. Well, sometimes that is good. There, get some rest in, but good to see you for a bit there. And the DNA is fused. There probably will be clues in it there. And yes, I read some card last night, and I was too tired to do the nights on it. Oh dear! And you've left it open, and they've been taking advantage of that one. Your inbox, your spiritual inbox, is full. And have you personally seen anything strange in the skies? Brilliant question there. So yeah, we have. Until doing this stream, hadn't seen a thing in the UFO world. Had some sort of spooky ones, but oh, hold on, bloody thing. Where is my chat? It's scrolling away from me. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'd seen some spooky things, so I was open to things being a little bit stranger. They're very interested in the UFO world, but hadn't seen anything strange. But moving here to the country where the night sky was so clear, and this little town has a bit of UFO history. Well, that's perfect. Let's see if we can watch the skies and see if anything else is going on currently there. But yeah, it didn't take long to start to see some strange things there. We have seen some anomalous light movements. There's not a lot that has been, I don't think, slam dunk. I think there is a handful of very, very strange things we've seen, but most of them are in the category of what appear to be strange light movements there. So it's not quite the same as seeing like a physical saucer above you hovering silently. Haven't quite had that one yet, but we've definitely seen some strange light movements. And you know, we can definitely say some of those are not satellites, and they're not shooting stars, they're not any of the easy go-to explainables. But then saying, what are they? That is the difficult bit there. So I can't fully push it over the line, but we can definitely say that they're anomalous there. So when we're doing our sky watches on those clear nights, we do tend to see something strange. So hopefully we'll catch one of them. I think it's going to be clear tomorrow. Fingers crossed for that. There, Simon just popped in to say he'll be back very soon. And thanks for the love. Well, Simon, 100% looking forward to seeing you back again there. But take all the time you need. Remember, there's no obligation. It goes for everyone to join us here. We do love seeing you all. But sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes you need a bit of a break. Sometimes there's a better offer, honestly. And sometimes you just need a little bit of a change of scenery. But we're always here when you do fancy dipping back in there. And Rachel, hogwash, Earth is unique. Well, it's definitely unique within the solar system there, and there are some arguments that you can make. I don't think it's conclusive as far as we know. The issue that we have is that our technology is not able to really scan a lot of those exoplanets out there. So we can kind of know that some of them exist now, but the way that we do it is with it's either the transit method there, so it needs to be big enough for us to notice the dip in light from those distant stars as it passes in front of it. And we go, oh, there's a 0.5% decrease in that star's brightness, therefore it must have a planet going in front of it, blocking that tiny bit of light there. We are starting to get better technology, or it's I can't remember what they call it now, but basically they watch the star and they can see it ever so slightly move there, and that is the gravitational interactions of those planets that are in orbit of that star. But those sorts of things there, that it still relies on the bigger planets being seen. So the bigger ones there, basically like, you know, your Jupiters and things like that, they're the ones that are big enough and therefore have enough gravitational interaction to wobble the stars there, or big enough to block out that light for us here on Earth. So I don't think we've fully found an Earth 2 yet, but we haven't got the technology to know. Then you might be right. Earth might actually be very, very unique there, and things like our moon being quite unique in the solar system as well is a little clue towards that. So it may well be the case that that it is unique. But I don't know, if from my point of view, I don't think we've got the data enough to 100% say there. And there, moving along slowly, thanks. I hope we're all doing well. Yeah, we're doing it here. There. Have you got your home observatory in place yet? You know, with the roof that's going to open up so you can look at the skies there. And genetics is the reptilian masters there. Oh, so they're the masters of genetics there. Do you think they could be the ones that are at play? It does potentially look like that there may have been some strange shenanigans going on without development there. Miss you too, 100% Simon there. And due 3 days after my 34th birthday, and a week before your 39th there. That is going to be an expensive month there, DJ. But congratulations, definitely. There. Off now. We'll catch you soon, Simon, but definitely thinking of you there. And planet level, not planet Earth. So I'm not there yet. There. And Alistair Crowley, again, an interesting character there. Well, he communicated. What was the name of the being there? He's a very interesting one there. In fact, all of the occult stuff is quite interesting. I'm not a fan of any one particular theory. I'm warmer to others more than some, but even the ones that I'm very convinced of, I still think that, are we even capable as humans of fully understanding what the truth is, what is going on there? Or is all of this just going to be our pal interpretation of some phenomena that is going to be wider and greater than us there? And weirdly, whenever I see or catch something with my phone there, Google says it's free. That reminds me of the summer there, Rachel. And Tick as well, thank you for the heart there. Good to see you there. You know what's scarier than comets or UFOs, Sam? What's scarier? Come on, DJ. There. And planet Earth is one of a kind there. Aliens say so, to believe it or not. I mean, they do say that quite a lot. I just, again, I could be behind the train on this one. I could be very much there behind it. Because you're right, that does come up a lot. It does come up. And it is possible. I wouldn't want to write it off. But I don't know. I'm one of these frustrating people that I kind of have to see something for myself there. If you could get my boss on, the amount of times he has been very, very unhappy with me because I insist on doing the same thing that other people have done before, because I will belligerently have to find out and learn the lesson for myself. He has pulled his hair out and shouted at me many, many times because I insist on having to do it myself. And I think the same is true with the alien stuff here. I have to have that experience before I fully come over, but I'm definitely open to it there. And Kate there, I'd have to say my middle two ferals are the scariest thing there. I did wonder if it's going to be in that direction. It has a radius and 360, so it's more of a disc then, is it there? And what about the square clouds? Oh, Tick, yes, I saw that. Yes, I did actually. You know what? I don't know. It's another one of those cases. And there was something else. It was something else as well you'd posted a picture of, I swear. I can't remember now. There's something that I went, ooh, that is really, really, that got my attention. But it all comes under this category of, it's highly strange. I couldn't tell you what it is. Like, if we're trying to explain it away, but how do we take it to the next step to understand what that anomaly is there? Is it an ADHD thing up there? Like, having to reinvent the wheel? And half the time I know I'm doing it, but I just can't not there. I think the value comes that, like, it's not even going to be 1 in 10, let's be honest there, maybe 1 in 50 times I will reinvent the wheel, and then I'll realise actually it is slightly better and we've been doing it wrong the whole time. So sometimes there is value to it there, but yeah, it's a compulsion there. And it's cool there. And have you seen the Chuck Clark UFO video? Which one is that? Is that the recent one? The name rings a bell. Is that the recent one, the grainy footage from inside the car looking up at Area 51 there? And DJ there, do you know about rogue planets? So, brilliant. Yes, I do know about rogue planets, and I think they're very, very, very interesting there. So the idea of a rogue planet is basically a planet that isn't orbiting its own sun there. It is just off on a mission, doing its own thing. And we speculate actually there's going to be quite a lot of them out there. So it could be things like, you know, weird gravitational shake-ups within its own solar system. It might get ejected. There could be another sun passes by, and again that gravitational interaction there just throws a few odd planets off. We may have even captured some planets within our solar system from those pass-by as well. But rogue planets are off on their own mission, fucking around out there in deep space without their own star. They do think most of them will probably be without life, because, you know, you kind of need that, like we need that sun and the heat there for the energy source to keep life. But if it has got active geothermal, you know, molten core there, the heat coming up, it could still have sort of life below the surface and things. So it's not a full write-off. But they also have rogue stars as well that are ejected and just not attached to any galaxies. I think it was like a ridiculously high number, like might even be like 10% of stars might be like rogue now. They're constantly throwing them off there. And classic UFOs to attend to hide behind the clouds. So yeah, that could well be it there, Rachel, with some sort of cloaking or just hiding it there. That could be an explanation. And if we do think that the propulsion is associated with you know, warp drive there, the bending of space and time there, maybe that is, you know, shaping that cloud indirectly. That could be like a product of that there. And the wheel needs to be a sphere to be better, and you can go forward, backwards, and sideways there. So that, I am a big fan of that, and I think that actually, that is a brilliant explanation of dimensions there. You've just put like a little connection in my brain. So like when we talk about dimensions, if we're talking in one dimension there, you've got the wheel, you know, the left to the right there. If you're talking in two dimensions, you can think of it as more of a cross-shaped wheel. You go backwards and forwards, left and right there. But if you've got a sphere, you can go up, down, left, right. You've got all of the motions around that as well. There's more opportunities. I wonder if time is more of a sphere rather than the wheel that we are taking it to now there. Or the planet eats it up. Or that there. Oh, sorry, the star eats it up. So that, yeah, that we do think happens probably quite a lot, and we're expecting that to happen definitely to Venus and Mercury. You know, as our sun gets near the end of its life, it will start to burn different sorts of fuel, and therefore it will get much, much bigger. Much cooler, much duller, but also much bigger. And that new diameter of the sun there will just encompass Mercury and Venus most likely. They're not sure on Earth if we're going to get caught in it, or we're just right on the cusp and we'll just be on the edge but burnt up, or will we be pushed further out to the solar system there. But I think the current explanation, they believe it is going to be that we get swallowed by our star. So we need to figure out what we're doing. We need to get our shit together in about 1 billion years, isn't it? And then how long we've got, or it might even be less than that. I think somebody said in the millions, and I started to panic then and started to cancel my holidays. Beer Buster is in. How are you doing there? Had your own experience with a tic-tac there during the aurora, but behind a neighbour's chimney. So that is the thing, Rachel, is having those direct experiences, isn't it there? I think if I had some of the experiences you've had there, I think I would be pretty much saying the same things there, but I'm stubborn until I have those experiences. And plasma is a 0-point energy, and active plasma and its anti-gravity. Activate plasma and it is anti-gravity there. Plasma is an interesting one. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say it's 0-point energy, but then I am coming from more of a traditional understanding of these things, which might be very wrong. I'm willing to admit that. But I will say plasma is very interesting because it's one of the substances that we apparently don't know much about there. We know it exists, we know it's the fourth state of matter, you know, but we don't do apparently a lot of studying it there, so there's probably still a lot to be learned there, and maybe it will have anti-gravitic properties there, maybe it will have some sort of 0-point energy there. I do lean towards that there is a form of life that is plasma based there as well, and CERN messing around, and unless the aliens have some of us before that happens there, well, maybe they will. And there, and many black projects that are where humans went to different realms. Yeah, I've heard of many of those things. Very interesting there, playing peekaboo. I mean, at least I've got some idea of fun there. And what is the usual spikes? Good question. We've got a little bit of one off to the side here, but we've not got the usual ones, and that is very, very, very strange. Over to the tubes there. Oh god, let's have a look. Where are we in the chat? It's all scrolling ahead on me. Jumpy in there. How are we doing? Raf as well there. Yes, I think you're right there. You know what? I'd forgotten about that. Well done, Raf. I think you're right there. And where are we? How have you been, guys, over there? You're all chatting away there, and Jason is in as well. Do you think aliens age like people? So that is a very, very good question. It's not a given. It is not a given at all. In fact, there are lots of species on Earth that do not age like us as well. Is jellyfish that are basically they go back to like an infant state and then regrow there? Lobsters essentially don't die of old age. There's many different ways. Our ability to age there is an evolutionary product as we understand it there. It's one of the things that it's a mechanism to stop our genes going sideways with cancers and stuff like that particularly. So we have what are called telomeres that are on our genes? Oh my god, it's somewhere tiny down within us there. And what they are, each telomere is like a regeneration token there, and however many of them you've got is how many times that cell can regenerate. But if you have infinite tokens on there and that cell can infinitely regenerate there, then they can go crazy, and they can mutate and go off like a long run basically there, and it's not very good for us. So obviously we've developed this system where it'll only do it as long as it's got those telomeres left. But that means that at some point you run out of those and things start to decay. We age, we get a little bit feral, all the things start to go out of whack. So that is the downside of it there, but it's not needed necessarily for biology, and if life is very, very different there, maybe it would be very, very different for them as well. There, and where are we? And Ken is in as well there, looking at Earth from space there, changes perspective forever. And hello to all. Oh, Ken, 100% there. What do they call it? Is it the overview effect? That when astronauts go up for the first time and they see the Earth as one, they have this epiphany that, look, we're all one. Why are we arguing? Why are we having all this sort of stuff? And I would argue that is basically like a greater version of the feeling that we've all had, when you do look at something greater than yourself and you're like, oh my god, why do my daily worries matter? And then you get your narrow focus, you go back to work, you get barked at, and then you're all stressed again. It's that human product of relativity, isn't it there? You will respond differently in different environments. But it is true, we are all sharing this planet there, and when you look at it in the scheme of things, we are all essentially neighbours. We're all technically in the same house, if you look at it like that. So I think there's probably something we can learn there. And Raf there, I've been on Jesse Michael's binge watch there. Oh, excellent, Raf. I'm glad you've joined the dark side. Brilliant. He's a brilliant, communicator to this. Where are the... And... how I didn't know about this. He's very, very good, guys. Jesse Michael's American Alchemy. Check him out. They did a Bob Lazar interview, which I thought was very, very very, very long and very, very awesome there. Getting jealous there, man. Where are we there? I'm going... Oh, there. Taking Alan for walkies there. You take him. He's been nothing but a nightmare today there. And Chris there... thoughts on 8 to 10th toe shadow beings. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So I don't know essentially where they come in. Is it some sort of cloaking effect? Are we dipping more into the spooky realm here? Is it something strange that we're seeing? Literally, maybe we're seeing a being that is in a different, or a selection of different dimensions. We're only seeing the part of it that does interact with our dimension there, maybe as well. Oh, who silenced Jolly? What was Jolly saying? And where are we? Have you ever picked up any AT transmissions in these, though? And if so, what was it like there? And Boofy, that is a brilliant, brilliant question. And the honest answer is we haven't, sadly. They are quite rare, but they are getting less rare over time. As our technology improves there, gets more sensitive, we do detect more. There have actually been quite a few anomalies detected over the years. Sadly, not by us yet. I don't think we've been doing it quite long enough. But there have been quite a few anomalous radio signals detected. So we're hoping to get our own one like that. I think it will. It'd be like winning the lottery. It'd be such a big deal for us here. We do, when it's, I wonder if this is going to work. When it's a clear, oh no, it's not working. When it's a clear night anyway, we do a skywatch, and we tend to see lots of strange things in the night sky for those. They're pretty active for the phenomena. Our skies are alive with strange. But, yeah, with this one, it's a bit of an excuse on those cloudy nights to get together nonetheless and have a bit of a chat. Where are you joining us from there, Boofy? And Harko is in there. No censored TikTok here, yeah. What is that? Oh, it's Minecraft chicks. Baby chicks there. Hello. And thank you for that one, Blue Nose. I'd never seen that one before. It's like a little crown. Anyway, back over to the tubes there. Element 115. Again, that's part of Bob Lazar's account. That's very interesting there. Mindful at the playing type, for sure, which I think is nice. And that's because humans eat said lobsters. Yeah, but they don't get a chance to live to old age, do they? But in theory, there could be a fucking massive one down there. Like a massive one that you probably wouldn't want to meet there. And Samuel, there is a jellyfish that is pretty much immortal. I knew it was ringing a bell. Something like that. Yeah, they don't age out. You know, like us. It's just a product. It's a mechanism that we have developed because of our biology. There, and is it a useful way around? Does it, well, it solves a problem, but does it create more others there? Jellyfish are really fascinating and pretty. They're one of those sea creatures that just really freak me out there. Oh, they really give me the old heebie-jeebies there. And Rosetta there. They're at the end of chromosomes. That's the one. Thank you, Rosetta. There, chromosomes. That's the word I was looking for. It's tiny bits inside us there. I think that's as far as I got. But you got us there, Rosetta. Chromosomes. At the end of our chromosomes. And 5 billion years of the sun has left in it there. So the sun has, but I think it's going to, well before then, it's going to, you know, run out of whatever it is it's burning at the minute, and then it's going to get to quite big there. Telomeres, that is it. Don't ask me to spell it, Rosetta. And I've been replying on your PC for ages. It turns out it hates you there. How did you steal something from it, Rosetta? How you doing, Lee, as well there? And it's a surefire way to be convinced everyone is doing a prank. We're just filtering you out there. There. Hey, that's a cool one. Thank you there, Blue Nose. I've not seen those. This is an exciting stream there. We're seeing all those strange gifts, the new ones. The YouTubers have got no idea what we're talking about. I can't see it there. And JJ, ever seen a UFO? Definitely. We have definitely seen lots of unidentified things. When we're doing our sky watches, the skies are alive. We see at least one thing per stream most nights there, sometimes a few more than that. Now, what are they? That is the next question. We can easily filter out things like satellites. We can easily filter out shooting stars and stuff like that. But what is it? Is it E.T. flying by a little green man in a metal spaceship or waving as it goes by? No idea. How we put it to that next level, that is the difficulty. And I think that is the difficulty what the community has in generally pushing this forward there. We can identify and record anomalous events, but taking it to that next level is incredibly, incredibly difficult there. And Samuel coming in with the roses, thank you for those. So I appreciate that. All goes back into the stream there, helping us improve what we do. But definitely we have seen some anomalous things, and the more I think about it, the more it's going up in my degrees of conviction. I don't know if it is just because I'm sitting on it. I had a sighting, like with my eyes. I think we did point the camera on it when we were doing our last on-location skywatch up the old Iron Age hill fort there, and there was that white light that was just coming towards us and acting strangely, and it was like there was a distant dog walker, one of those LED headlamps or something. That's how I kind of envisioned the way it's doing, but it was pure white. And I'm like, is it a trick of the eye? Is it a trick of perspective? Is it a car on a distant road? But you can see the headlights on distant road. It was nothing like that. But the way it was moving had that organic property to it. And I keep coming back to going, was that something strange that was up there with us? You know, or was it just a trick of perspective there at night? How you doing, Joseph? Good to see you there. No, not really. I mean, there's all just like little bits, trickles here and there, but nothing that is very, very dramatic, I don't think. Little pieces of science that will come out and go, hey, this might be more interesting than you thought previously, or this strengthens this argument, but I don't think we've had anything dramatic there. And have you seen the movie Cosmos there? And it'll be a good movie. Is this the one? Because I watched one recently, I think, is this the one where they're in the back of the car doing the signal searches? They're looking for a satellite or something. Is that one? Because I think I did see that one recently. And basically, when your DNA replicates itself, it can't do the whole strand there. Telomeres get eaten up each time. There, like it there. So that's it. Yeah. So when you run out, then it's gone there, isn't it? Something like that. They're like a shoelace anglets. Is that what they're called? Those little plastic things at the end. Ah, So it gets, it's okay. That makes sense there, and not in the millions of years. We don't need to panic anytime soon. All right, my holiday's back on, Rachel, and if I get too sunburnt, I'm blaming you. I'm joking, but I think somebody had said it was in like the millions or something, and I'm like, was it? Oh my god, I started to panic there because I did think it was like a billion years, but hey ho, there it was a Sainsbury's carrier bag. It wasn't, and look. I'll reaffirm why I got spooked by the carrier bag, and you lot have never let me down there, right? So it's an Iron Age hill fort there. There's a big flat, mostly open air. There's no trees, there's no woods, nothing to hide. You're quite high up there, open, brilliant view of the sky around, hence great for sky watching there. And we're up there, and it's pitch black, except for when we've got the streaming rig there. The big bright light from the laptop is just kills all your night vision when we're hosting it. There, so we can see the stars up, but we can't see pretty much mostly around us there. And I kept hearing what sounded like footsteps crunching leaves, and I'm thinking, okay, wait a minute, there's no trees, there's no leaves, where's that coming from? So it kind of sent me for a second to go, what's that? And it turned out it was a Sainsbury's carrier bag blowing around in the wind, and I have not lived it down there. And thank you for the rose there, Samuel, too, there. And I've seen something like that this morning at 3:30 there. In the Agara constellation there, constant flashing. So the flashing is weird. Satellites can flash, but the ones that stay in the same place flashing back to us is very, very strange there. The only thing that shouldn't be moving up in the night sky are those geostationary satellites, and they are more equatorial. So if you're not looking around sort of south, if you're up here in the northern hemisphere, and if it's not in that part of the sky, then it's most likely not going to be a geostationary satellite there. So what is flashing back to us from those same positions that we do see sometime? That is the one. The name of it always escapes me, but I don't know why I connected it then. But I enjoyed that one. I thought it was very on brand for what we're doing, like Contact as well, or Pluribus. It is that sort of thing. And if you are joining us tonight, guys, we're doing a live alien radio signal hunt, and we are searching what's called the hydrogen line. That's these channels here, these lines on the radio dial here, where scientists theorise that if ET is out there, this is where they would put the message, hello, is anybody else out there? And that is where we have detected some anomalous signals in the past, like the WOW signal, but many, many more since then. So as the night moves on, the sky, or the Earth rotates, I should say, and our dish will sweep across the night sky, passing over various stars and their planets. Hopefully one will be sending us a signal. Am I on it? Hold on, what are we talking about? Probably. Then big, bright flashing and no movement. Very, very anomalous there, Rachel. And talking about the poster, right, yeah. I don't know, where is actually, yes, I think I can spot you there, Rosetta. I think, are you that one? Where's my movement there? Is it that one? And your phone couldn't pick it up. Very, very interesting there. Oh, no worries, DJ. But it's good to have you in there. You haven't finished Pluribus yet. Well, spoilers, no. I'm not going to do any spoilers, but it is along those lines there. And Sam, when did you get the thing plaque and the book? That is from Kate, so we have to thank Kate for that. Kate made it and sent it to us there. So we have to thank Kate for the awesome thing there. Oh, and this is, you can kind of see it. The lights on it are a bit funny there at the minute, but it's a mirror. That's why you can't see it well. But that is a mirror that Simon designed and made for us as well, which has got Alan on it. It says the thing at UFO. Normally on the bit of the full shot, you can see the top of it there. So we are very lucky to have some cool things from you guys on the shelves. And very weird, I was outside last night just looking up, and it felt like I was being watched. I had that feeling last night, Rachel, when I was popping out and putting the camera away, and I kept looking up to the night sky expecting to see something. I saw a few satellites moving, but I didn't see anything else there. Where are we on the old tubes? It takes me a second to get back over here. No, I've done that one. Where are we there? Harco's in. I think we did that, didn't we? There. Oh, mate, I did that. Where are we? Yes, the skies have been alive with anomalies the past years, and I've seen many. Oh, do tell us more there, Boofy. And whereabouts in the world are you? Where are these sightings? Because I think you're right. The skies lately do seem to be very, very active. Now, is that just because we are more and more connected? Or is it because there is actually more going on? It does feel like it is building up to things there, isn't it there? He's on timeout, is he, Mayor? I leave it down to you guys. And same bag moment there. And there are no passengers on the spaceship Earth there. We're all crew. That's a very good point. I like that. And there is an analogy that I gave. And anyway, I'm going to give it again. We'll see if we get the warning from TikTok again. We got dangerous stream warning. But it's something along the line that we are all hairless monkeys flying through space on a convertible, in a convertible there, which is kind of, what is happening if you think about it. And TikTok thought that we were literally doing the stream whilst we were brum brum, and gave us a dangerous stream warning for that one. But it's some of the ways to think about it, of what is going on. Makes us feel very vulnerable on it there. Close encounters of the carrier kind, of the not biodegradable kind. Where are we? Let's scroll through there. And very, very weird. I was outside last night just looking at... Oh, no, I've done that one. And every time I'm out in the garden, you've probably just got a pervy neighbour, Kate. That's what it is. And Lee, have you any idea how many satellites are in orbit? So the last time I got the official number was, I think it's 14,500, and it was about a year ago. So we definitely know there's been a lot more. So we're probably on the 16,000 of man-made artificial satellites up there. They want to put that up. It was 40,000. Somebody mentioned the other day it's going to be like 100,000, which is insane because the skies are alive with those objects there. And it's getting harder and harder for us to filter out the explainable versus the anomalous there. But there are a lot of man-made satellites up there, a hell of a lot of them up there. But the good thing with those is that they have to follow certain rules. The laws of physics as we understand them. They're falling to Earth in a big circle. So for us, when we're looking up, they appear to be straight lines at consistent speeds there. So as soon as we see any deviation from that, it's a bit of a giveaway that it is not something that we can explain there. But that is quite rare to get that sort of strange behaviour there. And I'm not afraid of the dark, but there's something sus lurking in your garden now. And Kate, have you, because you've lived in that house, haven't you, like, I think since you were a child, like you said, I think, there. Has it always been that way? Have you always had an unsettling feeling? I had something like that in my childhood home. And, like, I had a couple of experiences of the spooky kind there. And there was nothing on that land. That was it. I look back, it's a new build town that it was in, and it was a newish estate, and parents had the house from new, and it was just farmland. There wasn't even a stream or a creek going through it. I've checked all the maps, I've been quite sus on this. Yeah, it was just farmland there. So there's no obvious, reason why, going back throughout history of why there might have been anything going on there. But there was some definite weird occurrences. And as a child, I hated trying to sleep there. And and I might have seen the ISS, but I still feel like I was being watched far away distance. And you may well be. There is something, they've tested this, isn't there, that humans do know a lot of the time. It's not 100%, but we do get an inkling when somebody is staring at us. How many times have you just looked around totally unconsciously and you've made eye contact with someone because they're looking at you? Or how many times have you been mindlessly just staring off into space and then somebody turns around and catches your eye, oh shit, I've been staring at someone. Like, there is something in us, evolutionary speaking, that does allow us to notice this, and it would imply that it is a little bit more, it's working through a mechanism that we don't fully understand. Now, there are some more explainable parts to this. So the reason that we have evolutionary developed, look, the whites of our eyes versus the pupils. Why do we have eyes like this and not like cats where they're all dark or other animals? Well, because having that white versus the contrast of our iris and our pupil there, it means that we can at a glance tell where somebody is looking, and where their eyes are looking and where their feet is pointing will tell you a hell of a lot about what that person is thinking. So totally unconsciously, we can suss somebody up if they're, staring us out, if there's signs of aggression, what their intent is. We've evolved to learn that and to trust that as an instinct. But how do we know if we're not making contact like that? If we're not even looking at ourselves, what sense is picking that up? There. And your room is starting to look like Bob Lazar's office. I'll take that as a compliment. It is. I tell you, this. I had dreams of this room here. This is Alan's room. It's officially known as now. This was going to be my office, and I will, when I'm working from home, I'll be separate from the house, and I'll be able to focus on my work, and I'll get a big monitor so I can plug my laptop in, and I'll put all my trinkets on the shelf behind. So when I'm on a boring officey Zoom call, people go, "Why the hell have you got a massive machine gun on your shelf?" Anyway, I had plans, guys. I had plans, and then slowly the stream has taken over, and like everything is now like all of the kit that we've got on there, it's all stream related. There, the equipment shelf, big green room now. I've got all these monitors, like bloody mission control now. I can't actually work at this desk because I've got so many damn things on it. There, and it could be perceived as a bit problematic, referring to people as monkeys. There, it could be if you want to be pedantic, but aren't we all related to monkeys? You know. So I'm sticking with it. We're all related, and are we that much different? There, and I should drop some M&Ms and see if ET wants to lend my phone. I mean, you never know. Was it Reese? Because it was M&Ms, wasn't it, originally, that they were going to have in ET, wasn't it? But they couldn't get the deal with Mars or whatever, and they had to go with Reese's Pieces in the end, though. And there, always, and it's the bottom of your back garden. Have you checked the old maps there, Kate? What is going on there? And Roselle, I'm still creeped out by the landing at the top of my parents' staircase. I wonder, are we picking up on something there? You know, like one of those, you know, senses that, I mean, a lot of you guys are not so detached from the senses here, but speaking personally, very much detached, potentially vestigial senses that we're, you know, not as good at relying on these days. The same as when the you know, your animals are like, you know, your cat is creeped out by something in the corner, or the dog starts barking at the wall. You know, is there something else going on? And if so, what is it? It's interacting in some way. Is it electromagnetic? Where is it? And can we measure it? Is it there? And we get the sense of it. So does ET. I mean, it would make sense, you know, especially if there's a connection there. So we can hide better in the snow. Yeah, exactly. That's polar bear. I mean, I can hide pretty well in the snow. You had dreams. Is this at your parents' house? I want to hear those dreams, Rosetta. And are they of Alan? Is this not some sort of Alan fan fiction? And yeah, but now you get to brag that you've pulled in an awesome community. Actually, that is true. Yes, we do. We are very, very lucky with all of you guys there. I mean, since Trump posted that vid of AI vid of the Obamas. Oh, I don't keep up with the news, Rosetta. I don't keep up with the news. And I'm not Trump, am I? There. And yeah, that's the Reese's is then. Yeah, maybe AT won't recognise it. And we don't come from mates. Even an AI alien entity said that as well. So, well, we are genetically related, aren't we? Too. I don't know if it's them. Is it chimpanzees that we're meant to be closest very related to? If you're going by a normal mainstream explanation, but there does seem to be a massive jump, like a massive divergence. And if we are looking at the explanation that maybe somebody came along and somebody meddled with us, with our DNA and stuff there, it would make sense that they would start, wouldn't it, from something that is there already. But we do seem to be vastly different, don't we, from what we're told are our cousins. Really, Kate, you've got to look into it there. It took me ages trying to line up my exact house with these old maps to the very few, you know, the very few sort of landmarks that are still in the area, because it was mostly farmland. But it's quite interesting to do. And seems to have a spike to more to the right. Sam, you're 100%. We're missing the two normal ones. Up spotted this earlier around here. Nothing in this area. I've got normal undulations. Maybe that's trying to a little bit, but no, that's there. But we've got one right here. You can just see it coming through there. I suppose we are getting a little bit here, and that's why you're getting a slight ridge. But yeah, we're not really getting the same normal activity. And if that was electronic interference there caused by a device that we have plugged into our system here, and it's introducing that in the signal chain, you'd think it would be damn consistent, wouldn't you? That could be Rolo. I mean, lots of pets do it there, and luckily I don't have the sorts of pets that do that. Oh, the birds are constantly off on a squawk. My nan used to live down the street, and my house was farmland when my mum was little there. So See, this, a lot of places are just farmland. I mean, back in the day, it could have been anything there, couldn't it? You go back a few generations, lots of missing settlements and villages. You know, not much survives in a lot of the senses, does it really? But you do wonder what the connection might be to it all there. Absolutely fascinating it was going by that. I remember, this is a total side tangent here that's going to be of no interest at all to you there, but there was a park where I grew up there. It's a new town. So new town, they mean 60s disaster that has slowly been added on and run down. It's Basildon, if you want to know, there. But we're on outish skirts of the sort of town centre area, and they had like what had been provisioned to be a parkland with lakes, fishing lakes, and a bit of greenery. They tried with it there. And when I was doing that deep dive, I realised that park was originally like a defined farmstead. There was a farmhouse and there was lakes around the farmhouse and stuff, and found the old pictures of it, and it was so weird going, I know that lake, like that was the lake that I used to feed ducks in as a very small child. There's a little park right there, and that's where the farmhouse was. Like it had a whole different life, you know, before you'd got to experience it there. I do love a little bit of trip down memory lane there. Anyone seen a black boogosphere? Oh, good question. No, I haven't. The actual shape, the spheroid things of anomalies, it does seem to be quite prevalent still, but I think the boogosphere itself has gone quite quiet. But have we seen a black one? Is that coming up in reports there? And extrapolate the context. Which one was that? It's a separate genetic line entirely. Apes are split from the common ancestor. It is there, but isn't it which ones? Apes were that way, wasn't it? And then was it chimpanzees that we're closest related to? Like that, is Homo sapien is a different line there. But I mean, we're talking, it doesn't matter in the scheme of things, you know. How close are we related to bananas? Isn't it like a ridiculous, isn't it in the 90% match something with our DNA to a banana, or is that like one of those wives' tales that goes round? I don't know. I'm not a specifics person. I'm big picture. We're talking about drawing connections there. Where are we? And they say not to believe in the false allegations like those. It makes sense. And I would not be surprised. So by default, I stick with the mainstream until we see otherwise. Because, for one very good reason, which is if everybody else is doing it, you're not going to be worse off than everybody else. So doing what everybody else does is normally, not always, a default safe space bet. But as soon as you notice things that may pry that direction is not the way to go, then that is when you need to look and figure it out for yourselves and stuff like that. So I would not be surprised. I mean, I default because I haven't looked into it. I haven't looked at the details. I've heard a few things. But I would not be surprised if something came out which totally blew that theory out of the water there. Totally could understand that one there. Even Polio needs self-care days. And I wish my aliens would land at my dad's farm where he currently works. So he finally believes that. I mean, maybe there's a reason though, Rachel. I mean, I can totally get though you're wanting to have the people around you to share the similar understanding and stuff like that. But maybe there's a reason. Maybe there's I always find it like it's an insurance policy, having other people with different opinions there. Because even if they're not fully right, maybe they might be right in a 1% sort of way that can just help you along the journey there. So it's an insurance policy. And a lot happens in a new build, there, when they start tearing up old farmland. I mean, I know a lot of shonky stuff that goes on in new builds. My old man is a builder. He's been a digger driver for many, many years. And I tell you what, I'd never buy a new build. Not even an old new build. But yeah, I suppose, there can be lots that go on. How you doing, Oscar, as well there? 98, I think, yeah. I mean, this is it, if we're talking in the single-digit percentages, how much far wrong if I get the particular, mammalian lineage slightly wrong when we're still 98% banana. And who knows, they might know the truth of it. Well, they might do. They might 100% know it. I'm definitely open to it there. And some people are actually quite closely related to potatoes. Some people, is this like a social observation? Okay, and is this expecting the potato to pop up here? Are you talking about me, my current shaved head there? And according to Dr. Fox there, genetically, have more DNA in common with crab. Hold on, I won't repeat that one. Come on, you bastard thing. Where is it? That was an interesting one, isn't it? There. Dr. Fox, genetically have more DNA in common with a crab than a person. Who's Dr. Fox? And I don't think that's statistically true. Oscar, the last time I was in your live, you mentioned about playing... Oh, KSP there. I just posted my newest build. Oh, I'll have to try and remember to check that one out. We haven't played that in a while, actually, Oscar. It is on our list. Hopefully, we're going to be doing a games night either tomorrow night, Thursday night or Friday night. I keep forgetting my days. But we might be playing Sea of Thieves with Pete instead. So we'll have to see you all aboard our ship. For that one if we're not there. Off Samuel, thank you for joining us. I appreciate you, and hopefully we'll see you later on in the week there tomorrow. Fingers crossed for a skywatch. He said it so he'll believe it when they land. So he's somebody that needs that physical confirmation. I mean, look, I can't blame people that don't believe, even to the degree, that I believe, and it's very frustrating, but like, if somebody hasn't had the experiences I've had, hasn't seen the things that we've seen, I understand why they don't, if that makes sense. I don't agree, but I understand it there. And, the media tab Discord. Oh, I'll have to have a look there. Let's see if I can load that one. I haven't been on Discord all day yet, so I'll have to try and check that one out. Thanks for that. And Patrick there, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight there? And it's definitely true, and not just the new build, though, but also the surrounding area. I mean, some of them are... It is criminal there. And you want to know why they cost so much? It's all the ridiculous health and safety stuff they have on site there. I could tell you some horror stories. The wastage. But the quality is just a joke. Anyway, getting off on a side ramble here. It's just keeping a... And, this is coming from a man who believes Nessie is still a thing. Okay, so that surprises me, actually, then, Rachel. So he's open to Nessie. So is that, do you think that Nessie to him is more plausible? Because we're talking it potentially being like a dinosaur that has been left, has just survived all of this time. So we know dinosaurs exist. So the question that still remains is, has it survived all the time? Unknown. Is that the thing there? Whereas aliens for him might be, if he hasn't seen that, that requires an extra step. That is interesting there. And Oscar, is there any chance you could quickly check the media channel? I'll try in a second there. And let's not repeat the turtle straws. Oh my God, yeah. I'm off my meds, so you never know which way this could go. Let me see if I can load up the Discord if it wants to work now. Hundreds of messages. Right. Media. Let's have a look. Oh my God, I'm so behind. Oh, Harco. Loving those ones. Oh, there's so many Allens in those pictures there, Harco. Thank you. There's the... Let's have a look there. Oh, wow. That's a proper full-on shuttle there. Oh, that's pretty cool there, Oscar. Well done. I could never build something so accurate and useful there. I did have some ideas for our next Kerbal rocket, and I'm thinking we need to go upside down. I'm thinking that could be the next big leap there in science. Definitely of Nessie, sometimes he can believe in Bigfoot, and it depends, though. Not on Wednesdays. Yeah, I mean, I can understand it. We all have our models for reality. And you'll notice that I have my main model for reality, so like a big overarching structure, which I'll pass everything through, is that, never underestimate people's stupidity and inefficiency. So when we talk about, cover-ups, corruption, conspiracy there, my default is, I need to see a lot of evidence before I think it's definitely conspiracy, because honestly, the stupidity of peoples, including myself, never surprises me. So we all have axioms of belief, don't we, that we filter things through there. Big House somehow appeared in the new poster. He's everywhere, Kate. He's everywhere. It took you 6 hours of 4 different part mods there. Create loads there, and if you ever want to... I really want to get into the modding stuff there, but I tried to put in some mods on Kerbal, and I failed miserably. I couldn't get some basic stuff done. So I'm basic, but at some point it'd be good if we could do it a bit more regularly, and get used to it a bit more. Anyway, let's quickly pop over. Harko there, thank you for the heart. I'm going to pop over to the tubes, because I've been slacking with you guys there. And Harker's in there tonight, there, Close Encounter of the Caribou kind. And Chris, there seems to be proof of objects orbiting Earth before there were any satellites. There does seem to be, doesn't there? This is the transients, isn't it, that were found in sort of Earth's, what appears to be in Earth's orbit. It's quite hard to tell, but there are some indicators that they do look like they are in sort of like a low Earth orbit there. And now there was a second a second set of telescope plates, the records, basically the images of this guy that were checked, and they found the same thing too. So this is Beatrice Villarroel, who's scientist who basically went back to look through all of the old photographic plates of was how they used to take images of the night sky there from the early 1950s, and they're doing a map of the night sky. And what they do is they take two images, they take one, take another one, move it, take another one, move it, and then come back an hour later and redo the same patch of the sky. And when she looked through these plates very recently, it looked like there were more stars and then not as many stars, like an hour between. Now that shouldn't happen. It's the same patch of sky. Supernovas are big and bright. They don't A, happen that commonly, and B, they you see the fact that it's there for a while. The stars don't just go within an hour. So what the hell were these things? And a lot of people immediately went, oh, it's satellites, isn't it? And you go, this is well before man-made objects in orbit there. We could shoot things up to space, but they didn't last up there very long at all. So what were those things? But yeah, recently another observatory on the other side of the world checked their photographic records, their plates, and they appear to be seeing the same thing there as well. But there are a lot of things that are commonly known to be within orbit around the Earth, sometimes within our atmosphere, but very high up there on the borderline, and we don't know what they are or where they came from. And I am starting to theorize there. I'm putting the pieces together in my head that I think that's what the space shuttle was for, because you do tend to find that a lot of the big scientific, that yawn has just sent my ears have popped and everything sounds strange, sorry guys. You find a lot of these big expensive scientific projects aren't normally done just for science. They're actually done as military projects. That's where the main bulk of the money comes from, and then science is the cover, or they get a little bit of use of it. I think it's Hubble as well, our Hubble Space Telescope. I'm pretty sure it was Hubble. Basically, the one that we all know and love, and the images that we got for years, so important for science there, that was a spy satellite that the CIA didn't want anymore, and went, hey NASA, do you want this? They went, yeah, we'll just turn it the other way around and put a different lens on it, and that'd be great for capturing the space. So many things like that have been done for guys there, and I think that that's probably what the shuttle was built for. That's why it had the cargo bay there, and I think that probably went up a couple of times secretly from Vandenberg Air Force Base rather than Cape Canaveral, and maybe got a closer look on some of those objects that they track, and they don't know what they are or where they come from there. And where are we in the thing there? And stealth, possibly, and there. And if I had, what's that one there? Chick there, Jason. What's that? If you had a choice between UFOs or Back to the Future car, what would you have? Or I'd have to go for UFO. I have to go for UFO there. Oh, don't you worry about that, Harko. It's perfectly fine. We love it. And before the Chernobyl disaster, and that's a very good point as well there, actually. Good bringing that up, Harko, because radiation is one of the other things that was thought to be causing this there. Early then it was the nuclear testing in that area, part of maybe the fallout of that was affecting the photographic emulsion there that would take the image, and maybe they were seeing issues there. But one of the things that so for the other side, that's on the other side of the world there, that's pre-Chernobyl, pre the fallout there, so yeah, 100%. But there was also thought it's this radiation, but apparently they have looked at how many of these objects that they see, and most of them are visible when that part of the sky, when the image was taken, was not in the shadow of the Earth there. So as you'll see it on our streams, when we're seeing all the satellites and things fly across the screen, as it gets later on at night, we see less, because the sun's gone further around and the shadow of the Earth is blocking that light a bit more. And it looks like these were taken, they were affected by that. Basically, we saw less of them when that shadow was more prevalent. They couldn't reflect as much light there. So that would imply that it isn't a plate defect or some sort of radiation interference there, anything like that. when people were happy without the net. It was a long time ago, wasn't it, there? A V20 PC there. Oh my god, the Amiga. What was the Amiga we had? Oh, yeah, good old days there. I miss flip phones, like proper old ones back in the day there. You could really, really slam a call down there when you're angry. We're on 95% related to a slug. It does make you wonder though, doesn't it? Like, you know, if we're talking that sort of percent...
Ghost train!
This is what I have to live with. Bubbles. We're just going to deal with that. Look, fucking up there as well. I will tell you what Leanne meant by the words ghost train as she it's just shocked me with that there. But where was we? But yeah, what's if all of that difference is in that 5%? That is very, very interesting there. Jason, there was an old house in Kildare Island where they were playing a game of cards, and the devil appeared dressed as a man, and he dropped the card, and they saw his hoof there. And do you believe in the devil? There's lots of laws. I don't know if I believe necessarily in a literal devil. I think in a conceptual 100% there, because there are, I don't know about a literal one, but maybe as a term, as a category, as an explanation. I know the devil is meant to be singular, but as our interpretation of certain things, I definitely do. But hey, I'm open to other things there. Oh, what do I know with it there? Even with me and my mum's experience there, he calls it AI, but but Mum just tells him he's winding me up. He probably is, yeah. He sounds like a funny one. And DMs always say, "Oh, thank you, Oscar. We'll have to tap you up for the next time there." Kerbal is good. We got on a good run of skywatches. The sky cleared, so we've actually not had a lot of long runs of doing this, which is when we normally cram a gaming in there. Bang on there. And they reckon we go to space more than we think. Well, there's whole sorts of rumors, isn't there, like a secret space program and stuff. And I'm not quite ready to go that far. But again, only because I start everything from the mainstream explanation. And then when I see an anomaly, then I will question it and raise it up. But I always start from that position. Which I'm not sure if it's the right one, but it's just my default. So I don't know if I feel like, I think Corey Good talks about a lot of this secret space program, and sometimes there's like 20 years on, 20 years off, and then they de-age you. That's a few too many steps for me. And, you know, I used to think all of that was totally 100% out there. That isn't possible. It costs us so much to go to space, and it's such a big, loud thing. Everybody would know. How could you hide something like that? But when I saw the parallel launch facility at Vandenberg Air Force Base, so on the east coast, Florida, you've got Cape Canaveral, which is where they do all of the big launches from, the one we all know. But on the west coast there in California, you've got Vandenberg Air Force Base, which is a space launch facility. And there is an image, you can find it online, and it is real, that of the shuttle. It had a parallel setup to launch the space shuttle there, and it's kind of nested in the mountains. And there's an image there, what is apparently meant to be the Enterprise space shuttle, which was a mock-up. It wasn't a real one, it was hollow. It was just kind of put there so they could practice putting it on top of a plane, making sure it all fit. But apparently, yes, apparently it's that one, no engines. But you see it set up, ready to go, and apparently it never launched from Vandenberg. But how would we know? It's on the other side of the coast, out of prying eyes. This is well before all the days. Maybe the Russians would know with satellite activity. But even to this day, we still do not have 100% coverage of the sky. We don't know everything that comes in and out of our atmosphere. There was that Russian Venera probe last year, the lost one that came back and after a long voyage, pretty cool, re-entered somewhere. We don't know where. We were tracking it coming to Earth, but we couldn't predict exactly where it was going to re-enter, and then we don't know where it is. We've not found it since. So lots of that can happen, actually. You know, that there can be things going up we don't know about. So I 100% think that they did a cheeky little mission or two up there to inspect possibly the Black Knight, some sort of weird object that they identified within our orbit, within orbit of the Earth. And we still fear there's going to be a World War III there. I don't think that could be a possibility, but that's pretty good. And I think we always need to be vigilant of these sorts of things. We can always lose the battle. We can always take a misstep. But the fear has been that if it's not the current issues, there'll be another one. There's a lot of fear mongering going on. It sells, it catches people's attention. So we need to pay attention, but also not chuck fuel on the fire there. And I miss buttons. I love buttons in a BlackBerry there, but I hated the BlackBerry. I didn't get on the BlackBerry bandwagon. They're not saying it was a bad wagon for bad reasons there, but I kind of missed that one. I was just on the normal ones, but I do miss them. I miss like old brick phones. I have debated going back to it, but I don't think I could text like I used to, having to press the button 3 or 4 times per letter. There, it keeps Leanne amused there. Yeah. Nope, don't believe in the devil there, Kate. You've not spent time with Alan then, and it can be quite the best at times, I bet. But the good ones are wind-ups, aren't they? And no one wins in war there, not even nuclear. I think that's very true, yeah. I mean, especially a nuclear war there. Alan's bougie. Is that what the kids call it now? I'm calling it a bastard. There. Where are we? And Dave, the thing is... ... The thing is... The thing, you mean our name? So we chose the name because... it covers a wide range of things, but also because the little town that we are in had its own UFO flap here that lasted about 10 years or so in the 60s and 70s, had everything, and it was constant for 10 years. Like, people moved internationally to be here with the phenomena, and I was so surprised that I'd not heard of it until moving here, and that was called The Thing, and it was called The Thing because there were so many parts to it, so we kind of named it after that. There. Sammy's in a mood. I'm not in a mood. I've been attacked by the bubble bath. The thing is totally... Exactly, Kate. I'll slip you that tenner later. Is a mood. I am a mood. What does that mean? I am a mood. I'm not down with the kids. I still think skinny jeans are cool. I don't know. Well, there we go. I'm up with the chat now. We caught up. Nice to inform you of what Leanne meant by the words ghost train and blowing bubble bath in my face. But I fear that would be a long backstory to that one. Carl as well, thank you for the help there. Oh, it's like you're a vibe, you're fun or something. A compliment? Are you guys feeling alright? What? I'm a mood. I haven't heard that one. I'm going to use it and see how many eyes get raised. What was it I was trying to say previously in a sort of a cliche, ironic way, and Rosetta could not handle it, thought it was awful. Also nearly 40, so I'm also out of touch there. Even when I'm being ironic, I'm about 2 generations of slang out of date, which is no longer just ironic, it's just bad. Excuse me. Just embarrassing. There. What was I listening to? Some music from my youth earlier, and I caught the phrase going through my head. I don't make music like this anymore. And I thought, oh fuck, here we go. That's it. It's gone full round. My teens like to remind me of that. Kate, obviously we're like a similar age, and you're telling me you're teenagers. It's like, oh my god, it can't be possible. The 80s was still 20 years ago. Guys, if you are just joining us, we are doing a live alien radio signal hunt. We are searching the hydrogen line, that is the channels on the radio dial here, where scientists theorise that if ET is out there, this is where they'd put the message, hello, is anybody else out there? Or, as a most recent study found, that there'd probably actually be help or warning, don't develop AI or something along those lines. Something like that. There. And yeah, that is what we're doing. We're listening out for those strange signals. So as the Earth rotates, our dish will sweep across the night sky, passing over various stars and their planets. Hopefully, if we get lucky, we'll be in the right place in the right time. We'll hear a nice clear signal coming through down there. But if we do get a signal, it will only be on screen for between 30 and 90 seconds there. So let's keep our eyes on the screen there. Exactly. And 30 next year, dreading it. You know what, Rachel? 30 actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. 40 I'm really dreading, because there's like no excuse. At 40 it's like you've got to have your shit together, and I am very far from having that done. I am nowhere near mature enough to be 40. Surely I shouldn't be allowed. Definitely still a baby. And oh, hello.
Hi.
Oh, you're not attacking me this time.
I realised that I should have waited till the bath was fuller because I did not get enough bubbles.
Did you? Oh, you did yourself out of bubbles.
Yeah.
It was an own goal.
No, I mean I didn't get you enough bubbles.
Oh,
When I
you
picked
wasn't
it up,
harsh
I
enough.
waited.
Very nice there.
I know slang.
You
It's
don't.
6, 7. 6, 7.
What does it mean?
I don't know. I said it's next door to a good time, at which point my brother said you can't say that in front of your nephews.
What, they like 9?
What?
Are they like 9?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't say it to them.
That's why you're going to be on a register. That's, not the register of cool people.
And Skibbity? Is Skibbity still a thing?
I think that's probably a generation out now, because even I'm aware of that. So, and the search for extraterrestrial intelligence is a deep and difficult mystery that strikes at the core of who we are. It very, very much does. I mean, and I definitely see things that do raise the question of, well, what is intelligence? And Raf there, was it the Lovejoy theme tune? That's the best theme tune that there is. This is what I have to deal with.
Is your autonomic thing reset?
Autonomic. Oh, it's gonna get everywhere. Something's got in her. Wait, she's a mood. There we go. And there is an Irish song called "Stop the World" and "Let Me Off." Stop the world. Yeah, sort the world out. Makes sense. And let me off because I'm turning 34 tomorrow and not looking forward to it. Ah, you're all right there, Jason. 34's fine. I'm fine. I don't even know how old I am. I just had a moment when, shit, when's my birthday? Have I missed it? Fucking forget now. You start trying to count backwards. I've still got this. I thought I had the phone on my head still. I can still feel it. There. Should have been a bigger handful. No, don't encourage her there. I'm so glad. My youngest isn't awake right now. Be using it as evidence against you. Let's go. Don't be about you're 53. What was the last generation of slang that you remember, Beer Buster? She must have heard you there, Rachel. That's why she's come back in there. And my middle feral is 6'7", is like, oh well. Oh, okay. When not being used to wind older, cooler kids up. Is that what it's about then?
I'm not doing anything.
I don't trust you. She's snuck in.
Waiting for my bath to run.
She's snuck in and she's waiting. She's sitting there. I don't trust her there. Exactly, Rachel.
I'm really not doing that.
And I don't trust you. I don't think the chat trusts you. They all say that you're being mean to me.
Oh, I got nothing in my hands.
That's what I have to deal with. Rachel, you're right. It's that message you sent just before we came on. Winding us up there. Hello, Alan.
Am I a mood or am I the moon?
The moon. Yeah, you're the moon phase there. Both of us are in a mood tonight. I'm going to be in a mood if she keeps this up. Oh, I'm joking. There. I don't even know what day it is, to be fair. Yeah. Sorted. Actually, no, that's fair, Beer Buster. I think it's sorted. Yeah, I can. That was a slang that I could get behind. I'm trying to think. What was our slang? Random. That was it. Yeah,
That's so
random.
random.
That's so random. That was when we were teens. So random. Yeah, fucking hell. God, we were with
Missions.
missions. You on a miss? Yeah, that was one. Yeah. I mean, it's still a perfectly suitable word. I'm just too fat and old to be doing anything that long. Winded there. Yes, oh my God. Yeah, we're of that generation there.
What are the words we can't use now? Like what was Black Eyed Peas? Let's get this party started. Let's get it started, because it didn't used to be that.
Oh, was it not? Oh, did it?
Yeah.
What, over an R? A hard R?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you never know that.
Let's get...
I mean, I prefer... Okay. I mean, music is art, you know, free pass and all that one. So random. He needs someone to tell him what day it is. Maybe I get I get into that. Basic? Oh, that was the 70s. You're not allowed to say that one anymore.
I used to say it.
Well, yeah, I suppose. I do like, I know it's not appropriate now, but we grew up with Bottom and things like that. I like a good, cheesy, inappropriate joke there. Reminds me of a simpler time. Trump would argue it anyway. He would just make some sort of meme of himself. Where are we? There. And what alien detection tactics and gubbins do you favour, Dave? Good question. I like a good gadget. I like any gadget I can find, but I don't have nearly enough. So the main ways that we do this, we do, as we're doing tonight, the alien radio signal hunt. So we've got a large dish out there that is tuned to this particular frequency range. It comes in through some various amplifiers and filters, and yeah, basically we're just passively listening out for, you know, hopefully anomalous radio signals that may come in if we are lucky, if we are over the right star at the right time there. This is what we do on a cloudy night. On those clearer nights, then we do a skywatch there. We are looking visually for the strange and anomalous there, and it's just a camera. We do want to upgrade it to an infrared one though, so we can see all of the shenanigans going on in that part of the light spectrum. Excuse me. Gonna send you guys for that one. But yeah, very basic, very passive like that. But I would like to get more technical if the budget would allow, because it would be very good to be able to get, you know, multiple detectors. So at the minute, especially when we're doing the visuals, we see lots of visual anomalies there. But if we could get, you know, possibly gravitational wave detections, all that sort of stuff there, or magnetic anomalies and things like that, if there's some way we could get, you know, a couple of hits at the same time, I think that would be very, very useful for what we're doing there. Oh, but Rachel, I don't keep up with the trends. I have no idea. I just get the gist of it there. Loads of money. Oh, that's that Harry Enfield, isn't it? Loads of money. What was... Oh my god, I'm thinking of the Fast Show now. Good times. A simpler time. God, flashbacks to the 90s. He posted himself as God. I'm not sure. I was going to say he must know. He must just be being funny, or what he thinks. But I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe when you're in a position of power like that, it might actually go to your head a bit. Have I set Otis up? Otis! Oh, he's in his cage. Is he watching? Oh, hello, Otis. The parrots like to watch this as well, so yeah. Anyway, no signals tonight. Not even really the anomalies. Not even the normal ones we get around here. Very, very strange. So I did catch. We've mentioned it a few times that there might be a property of ionization by the craft propulsion, by UFO propulsion. There might ionize the air around them and therefore cause an involuntary glowing. And last night I caught a podcast that actually covered that again, and what the details of that was. And I've already forgotten what the specifics were, but there is something to do with how the charge that we'd imagine the UFOs potentially have to that would, you know, to operate a warp drive to bend space and time. They do think that would ionize the atmosphere, and that was it, which would cause a reddy orange glow. So that immediately does put in, doesn't it, another potential of what we could be seeing when we're seeing that strange flashing away there. And if it is in an orange colour rather than the white of the simple reflected satellite, maybe we are seeing something stranger there. So the orange needs to go on the list there of anomalies. Suit you, sir. Oh my god, that was it. Suit you, sir. Oh, suit you. The saw you coming ones as well. They were pretty good. Summed it right up. Well, we're going to be on for another couple more minutes there. Oh, hold on. Why are we getting those stars in range tonight? That's weird. So look, you can see down here on the chart at the bottom left there, that is where the dish is pointing the stars that are in range. And it updates as the Earth rotates there, new stars come into range. And we've literally just got Minkar at 303 light years. It's just come in range of the dish there. So let's see if anything changes. If there is a correlation between what we are seeing on screen and what we are pointing at there. Now, 303 light years, it's not the closest star, but it is by no means that far away. It's in the same town, so to speak, in space-times there. But if we were to be receiving a signal, because radio waves travel at the speed of light there, if we got a signal right now coming from that star or a planet around that star, Minkar, there, that would mean that that signal was sent 303 light years ago, and it's travelled all of that time to reach us here. So if we were to have a round conversation that comes in, says hello, and we go, oh, hello back, send a signal out there, a round to and fro conversation there would take 606 years there. So this is not really going to be the way to have a good conversation, to have communication, but just getting a signal, evidence that there is technological life out there. Carl, sorry, I missed that one.
Nom nom nom, thanks.
Thank you for
guys.
feeding, Alan. Technological confirmation of technology out there would be absolutely amazing there. I'd love to know who picks the names. Exactly. I would as well. I know there is, like, for comets and things like that, there's like a body, an international body that and a committee that vote on them as well. But I don't know about some of the names. Some of them must just be there from throughout antiquity. Oh, they need to stop naming the storms. They're naming it, it just devalues it. If they give every single gust of wind a bloody name, then you start to not worry about it as much, you know. And I think they're running out of names now. I need to learn The Boy Who Cried Wolf. I need to someone have to read that one to it. And Ken, I don't want to believe. I want to know Carl Sagan there. I think that's pretty reasonable. That's pretty reasonable, and probably speaks, doesn't it, to the truth for a lot of us. Some of us would argue that they definitely already know, because they've had some very interesting explanations. Experience is what I'm saying there. Sagan was an interesting one, science communicator, very well respected there. And he was somebody that was quite interested in UFOs until a certain point, and then he publicly became... He wasn't cynical. It's not like a lot of the modern science communicators will laugh at the thoughts of aliens there, but he was like, oh, it's just probably not the case, you know, the universe is vast, they can't reach us. They're a bit, not dismissive, but he wasn't, you know, there publicly. But, interestingly, he would write a lot about it. So he'd say one thing and produce works, creative works, on another, which could imply that maybe he was brought in, maybe he knew something there and was told to publicly shut up, but then still expressed it through writing. And you want both, Kate. And to be honest, both are going to be at play. Like, both will have their... Even if we get some form of disclosure, we're not going to get all of the details, are we? We are going to get a fragment on that. So we might know some bits, but we'll have to believe and infer others, you know? Like, that you'll never be able to convey 100% the reality of whatever it is there. Everything is going to be a dull comparison otherwise. Like, I could tell you about my house. I could say, you know, it's 3 bedrooms, it's 4 bedrooms, it's 2 bedrooms. I could say it's detached, it's semi-detached. I've got a green door, a red door, whatever it is like that. But that's a description of my house in about 10 seconds. But it's not all of my house. It's not the suspicious crack that I've got above the downstairs, down one of the downstairs doorways that I swear wasn't there when we moved in, you know. And it's, you know, not about the little corner where the spiders hide by the back door there. There are so many details to these things, and not all of them will be relevant when we're sharing all of the experiences there. But it goes to show that you can convey something honestly, but still not capture all of it. You know, it's all about what definition, how much detail we're inferring. And if they go, yeah, aliens, lads. Okay, right. Where are they from? Well, some are from here, some are from there. Okay, but where is there? What does there look like? Do they have plants? Do they have trees? You know, what their intents? There's so much more colour to all of those. So I think you will always need an element of belief there to help you navigate reality when you don't have the exclusive knowledge. The devil is in the details. You don't believe in the devil, though, Kate. But he's right. Devil is in the detail. pounds and pennies there. Go there. Headset needs to be charged there. Disclosure in the summer. Righty-ho, Rachel. That needs to be the catchphrase. Disclosure in the summer. But good to see you there. We're going to be off ourselves in a second, I think. Because I'm hiccuping and yawning away like crazy tonight. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm yawning now. So I think I'm going to wind it up for 11 and there tonight. But we will be on tomorrow, hoping it's going to be a clear night for a skywatch for you there. And then Thursday or Friday, we haven't decided which. Depends on which days it's raining. We shall be doing some games. Hopefully play Sea of Thieves with Pete there. It's only because I know better. Remember, close the door, Kate. You won't get any sleep otherwise. And don't go out into the garden without some M&Ms. But... yeah, we're going to call it quits for tonight, guys. But thank you so much for joining us, and I'll see you all tomorrow, hopefully there. Have a good Wednesday, is it? It's a Wednesday. And, yeah, we'll catch up to you then. On repeat. All right, we'll catch you later, guys. Bye-bye.